Vanville needs 12 acres of parkland.
Yeah, well, this
And-
grant won't allow them to do that.
So even though they own land that's zoned for park and that stuff, they're not gonna build parks?
The county, this grant has to be to improve something that's already there.
Something that's already there.
Okay.
Well, the pool's already there. Now, we can go there.
Okay, I'll finish up.
That
Fire department, they're working on the San Luis County Hazard Mitigation Plan. Again, we're still, reviewing potential hazards, in our local district and sending that information to the county for part of the master plan. Fire impact fee agreement with the San Luis Obispo County has been revised, the agreement, and the agreement has been reviewed by legal and changes have been submitted, to the county. And we'll have more information on that. I met with, our county district supervisor, John Prashant, today, and we discussed our mutual aid and auto aid response for this district. This is all under fire, so I won't be talking about it in fire. I had a nice meeting with him and explained some of our concerns and issues to solicit some support. The county is very interested in supporting us, and we're gonna be doing some follow-up with them, and they're working basically on all districts and fire departments and their needs. And they do recognize, we kind of have a special situation because we're part of the thoroughfare that runs through the county. We're at the north end on the county line, and the resources that support us are pretty far away. Their influence on response exceeds the industry standard, 15 minutes, or it's considered unrepresented, and that basically stops. We're in San Marcos Road or just south of town here, so everything on the east-west side in this district, by the county's own admission, is not represented. So we're working with them on that, and I have a meeting also tomorrow with Chief Jalber from the county at 4 o'clock regarding the mutual aid agreement. So hopefully some good things will come out of that. And we're offering support, and we're asking for support and services, so I see good things coming there. And then the last thing is where we've been discussing options of having a closed session, if there's a need for it, a second Thursday of the month. It is another meeting, which I know that's not always, but it would be closed session, and would give us time to discuss without having a time constraint on us. So if items were to come up, we could choose to activate or not, and then in the regular meeting, we could just go into closed session, and we wouldn't have to be pressed for time in those discussions. So I would be interested in hearing you guys' opinions on that. I'm not trying to throw more meetings at you, but I'm trying to give you the opportunity to not be constrained by time.
And you can email them and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you have your people call our people?
We can do that.
We'll call you.
And it doesn't have to be the second Thursday, I just put it out there so it was spaced out. If it was a Saturday, or if it was another time that worked, it's just, and it doesn't have to be on a regular thing, because we have to have a closed session part of our regular meeting, but if anything needed extensive discussion, we can defer it to that time, or
Simply predicated on a need based on a time constraint.
I just feel you guys aren't getting the time you need,
I agree.
and especially with some SEMA stuff and everything coming,
Okay.
so.
We need to talk to our union, our board
Yeah,
union.
our representative.
Yeah, you guys.
we'll share emails. That's all I have for the GM report, unless you have questions.
Any public comment on the report? Questions from the board? No. District General Counsel? Nothing.
Nothing from Jeff Council. Sorry, I was muted.
I have a question. Mr. Roberson, we talked briefly about that. I don't know if this is the appropriate time to ask that question about the water and real estate rights. Do you remember we had a conversation the other day about it? Item minutes or legal?
So I attended the meeting with Director Parent last
Oh,
night
okay.
in Paso Robles. And there's some very interesting things coming up,
That sounds bad.
to say the least. They presented a plan and it's not being well received by certain people, and then as far as real estate issues, can you be more specific?
The question was about water rights that come with the property.
Oh, and about mineral rights, like selling mineral rights or retaining them and selling
Right.
property and stuff?
Yes, I don't know if that's legal, that needs to be handled in the more.
In general question on that, there's gonna probably be a lot of that coming up because of people owning water or having their water rights taken away from them when they still own the property. We are aware of a situation close to our district that may apply to. It's all up for litigation discussion, I think. It's getting close to that. There's a lot of people with this water GSP and the things that they're trying to implement are affecting those rights, so I don't know.
So, can we actually have a conversation, if I don't know where on the agenda, under the staff reports, that that meeting will fall? Was that more of the general manager's report, or is that more of your report, or the engineer's report?
I think either one would be appropriate. I mean, Blaine could talk about the meeting.
Yeah.
Basically, we filed and enumerated the revisions of the draft chapters 8, 9, 10, and HIK appendix. And those were, Supervisor Arnold didn't like what was going on, so she requested that the drafts be revised. So those revisions were filed by the committee, and now they are on the portal site to be reviewed by the public and also public comment.
Okay.
And I believe that window for public comment closes the 1st of July, and the next meeting will be on the 24th of July.
Okay.
So read and comment, please be involved.
Oh, you wanna say your-
To answer that question for you, it can only be answered once those discussions take place.
Do we know if the county's feeling about the GSP at this point from their actions at the meeting, or if there's any other noteworthy developments?
John Pashong he had some comments from the public that he had, discussed, kind of general comments. Says he's been talking to a lot of people about it, and basically he's listening to everybody he can and trying to accommodate during this public, period.
Okay.
But, you mean as far as how they feel about the revisions to the draft?
Yeah.
Not so much. There wasn't really any indication of that I felt. Did you,
Well, we actually had a conference call today with the staff, and we went through, John Pashong had something like 15 pages of recommended revisions to the revised chapter 9. This was all chapter 9. So we went through those today, and we are going to be reissuing another revised version of chapter 9 that will be posted.
is it gonna be more than 85 pages?
No, actually, I think it's
Less?
being reduced in size. That will be posted on the portal, hopefully at least 2 weeks before the July 24th meeting, so that that was one of the criticisms of the public, was these things are getting posted on the Friday before the Wednesday meeting, and public, at least some of the public, feels like that's not enough time to review and comment. So the revised chapter 9 and chapter 10 are gonna be put on the portal 2 weeks prior to the July 24th meeting.
And what about the public comment period, July 1?
It still is July 1.
Okay.
But as Supervisor Pashong said last night, and I think all the cooperative committee agreed, there will be an opportunity for the public to make comment that will be considered and potentially incorporated into the GSP at the 24th meeting. And even that isn't a drop dead date. Then what this is leading up to is the issuance of the complete document in draft form. And then there'll be more time to really look at the entire document, all the pieces in one place to go through and comment as well. So I really think, and I foresee our GSA having, at least one and maybe more, extended workshops to go through this. I like it as a GSA and with our public to go through it section by section, chapter by chapter, and get what we want, the comments that we want into the final document.
Okay.
So it sounds like a mess.
It kinda is.
Do you wanna,
It certainly is a warm mess. I don't know if it's a hot mess yet.
do you wanna explain the vote that happened last night?
What's that?
The vote on the money that you brought up on the May 2nd meeting?
Oh,
The May 21st
yeah,
meeting?
I think that we talked about this, the other night. There is something like around
36,000, something.
a little of that,
About 151, right,
is-
that 136.
is the difference between the contract with Montgomery Associates to do the GSP and the 1.5 million matching grant that we have. So that's the difference. There was, on the agenda, it was proposed to, basically to authorize the city of Paso Robles to increase the Montgomery Associates contract by that amount, and then figure out what other work might be done with that money. Director Parent basically said, San Miguel, we say no, and so it was tabled and for consideration at a
No.
future.
They voted on it.
They did vote?
They voted on it. It was 3-1.
It was 3-1 no.
It was 3-1 approving that money to be allocated.
Oh,
But they wanted specific project,
Scope of work.
specific scope of work
That would be-
outlined before that.
That's right, that would be, it still has to go back to this GSA for approval.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't agreed to spend the money yet. That's
No,
right.
not at all, but they agreed to explore giving the money to Montgomery
Why?
for specific. Well, they said that there's things that's the question I asked, and I asked also, could this money be used for revisions after it goes to DWR? Because there's gonna be revisions, and I was told by, Dick McKinley, the Director of Public Works for Paso, that none of this money could be used after, for ex post facto with once it's submitted to DWR, any changes post that this money cannot be used for that. So Blaine was looking for some clarification on that because he wasn't 100% sure that was the
In
case.
fact, I have a call into the DWR today.
'Cause
I'm
that's-
trying to get clarification.
Quite frankly, that's the only thing I could see increasing that grant for is if there was expenditures after it had been, but they seem to want to try and gobble it up, and I'm not down with it at all.
I appreciate that, Simon, because, it sounds like, you're just gonna give them a blank check to spend
And
100.
that's,
Because, we've seen the record on spending it on car rentals, not filling up the car rentals, fancy food, fancy hotels. That's not responsible public use of money, so.
And certainly Director Parent made this GSA's position clear last night, that we don't support that.
thank you.
Thank you so very
No
much.
problem, that's what I'm here for. And I appreciate the support of our staff because I'd be lost in the dark without you, quite frankly.
Move into the district engineer report.
So you have my written report. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and after the questions are answered, I'd like to add one bit of information that concerning a meeting that Kelly and I had yesterday, the day before yesterday with the county. So first, I take any questions about my report.
Any questions from the board on the district engineer report?
The Hastings project is moving forward with 3 homes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And
Those
those,
3 under construction now, right?
right.
Yeah.
And those will be done whenever, and then they'll work on the next phase whenever.
They're taking their sweet time on those 3, so I don't know when they're gonna be done.
Total of 12.
There's a total of 12 with one existing that they actually submitted plans to the fire department for a remodel.
And any other status on the 34?
No, last I heard they were in, quarrel with the county over whether or not they've done enough to satisfy their site permit in order to actually build houses.
Does that have a name?
It's track 2779.
Oh, thank you.
Nina,
Yeah.
any other questions on the engineer's report?
Not for the report, it's,
Okay. Please, Alex, anything?
And then, after the report was submitted, Kelly and I had a meeting with San Luis Obispo County, the portion of the planning group that is responsible for their water conservation program. And their water conservation group and program in Paso Robles, in the Paso Robles groundwater basin, they have funds available that are being acquired through their in lieu fees. They had something, she said, about $350,000, that they're looking for a home for that money. And it's for water conservation projects, which are completely compatible. They're totally compatible with our goals of groundwater sustainability and helping maybe people lower their water bills. So we met with them. We kind of put together an initial kind of scope of work. We're going to take a look at who are the largest water users in the district, including like green belt, HOA green belt areas, parks, some of the commercial users, and see if we can identify water users that might benefit from having water conservation measures implemented. And if it looks like it might be something that would be beneficial to the district and our customers, they are very interested in finding a home for that money. So we're hustling to get it.
Okay.
Excellent.
Good news. Move on to the fire chief report.
Report submitted as written, if you have any questions.
did you just get the director of utilities report?
Oh, I'm sorry, my apologies. Kelly, yes.
Oh,
Utilities.
I was getting out of here for free.
I just heard a sigh of relief.
So you guys haven't